Here we are, big fight, very big fight. Does it feel completely different from your fights in the lead up to this? I mean, we've spoken before, the Algieri one, the Granados, Vargas, we've talked about those fights, and they're all big fights, right, because it's the next big one. This must feel like something completely different.
I think because I'm in it, I don't realise the magnitude of it.
Yeah.
I know what's in front of me, I know the obstacles, I know what I'm facing October the 8th. That's my goal, that's my focus. I've got my blinkers on, everything else is just noise.
Yeah.
And you know, once you become good at that, which I have done over the years in my career, you learn. It's one of the tricks of the trade. You learn to forget everything else and focus on the date.
I knew it was going to be massive, regardless, because I'm at the age where I can remember the build-up for your dad's fight against Chris Eubank Jr. Did you know it was going to be this big? Like when they announced it and it blew the internet, I think it was trending #1 on Twitter for hours. Did you know? Okay, it's going to be this big.
It was Ben trending.
Oh, okay, I like
just
that.
To let you know, yeah, it was Ben trending. It weren't Eubank. It was Ben trending #1. So I just, you know, A side, B side, all that rubbish talk. Yeah. I mean, I suppose so. At the end of the day, it's one of the greatest British rivalries of all time.
Yeah. For me, it's the #1.
Yeah, the greatest rivalry of all time. So it's never been done before. This really is history. Two legend sons, exactly like their dads, coming to meet together. When the last fight was a draw and they tried to make the third fight happen for numerous of years, even at the ages of 50, they tried to make the fight happen, didn't materialise. You sort of go, fate has taken part and the stars have aligned for this occasion.
When did it become a reality? I think I remember when Eubank fought Liam Williams. I remember you tweeting something after that fight like, I fancy that, or something like that. Just
I fancy my chances at a catchweight.
Yeah, that's it. You said
that. But then before that, me and Eubanks have had maybe little run-ins, and then Calais put up a post maybe 2 years before that saying, I sense in a not too near distant future, Ben Eubank.
Yeah.
So here we are. And, you know, he was right. And I was right in saying I fancy my chances at catchweight. It was a fantasy fight. Never did I think the fight would materialise. It was such a big fantasy fight. Yeah. All these big, massive fights always take...
They're impossible to make.
They're impossible to make, mainly because of egos, which I don't have much of.
Does he have one?
You tell me.
Well, I'm interviewing him in a few minutes. I'll tell you after.
So you ask him, yeah, and you tell me after. You know, all the ring walk in second and Eubank Ben and home corner, I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
it makes no difference to me. It makes no difference to the night. You know, my ego ain't that big. You know, so I can see why fights are hard to get made, because then when you have two people arguing about things that don't really even matter, you know, you're losing focus on what the main goal is. And the main goal for me is to get the win October the 8th, irrelevant of whether I ring walk second or first. Just give me a tiny ring and we're good.
You're deviating from the plan a bit though, aren't you? Like when I look at your last sort of 3-4 opponents, I almost feel like, okay, I can see the plan here. I can see what you're doing in Algieri and Granados and Van Heerden, former champions, getting that experience, guys that are maybe sort of just below fringe world level, but then you're cracking into that. This isn't that, is it?
Listen, every camp I build, every camp I work on something, every camp for me is progress. Every camp for me is laying the foundation. So irrelevant of who the opponent is, I'm still going to work. I'm still going to graft, still going to work on tactics, still going to work on game plans, still going to implement different styles, different techniques. So as far as progress in my career goes, it's not detrimental to my career. It's a massive fight. It's never been done in history. It's a massive legacy, right? Forget the money, forget the fame, this is huge.
This is huge.
So what am I supposed to do? You know, when you got Spence Crawford fighting in November, I believe, for all the belts.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a lovely position. I'm top 5. Every fight at this level now for me is a risk. A risk I'm willing to take, of course. But by this taking this fight, obviously. But I believe I come out victorious. Any fight at this level is a risk. Well, you can't pass up on a fight like this. How do you?
Yeah. I mean, once this contract goes across the table, you stop and have a look at it. The risk reward here, I think, is incredible. Just because, again, you mentioned the legacy in it. This will be a higher weight class than you used to. Obviously, you're looking sort of swollen now, right? Yeah. You are going to cut back down, I guess, to where the fight will take place. Concerned about adding those extra pounds? I mean, because your movement, right? I mean, you want to be a bit lean and light, no?
Mate, I'm heavy. I'm heavy. Do you know what I mean? You know, we look like, but I'm heavy though. You know, so I'm heavy. And I'm a heavy puncher as well. I carry my power. You guys don't see me in the gym day in, day out. I have my team. This won't just go, oh yeah, look, let's take the fight. See what happens. It won't one of them decisions. We've made calculated decisions my whole career. And so far we've done pretty good, wouldn't you say? Yeah. So, you know, me and the team sat down and worked out what I walk around at. We judge based off the super middle, light middleweight sparring that I do. So my trainer knows me, you know, like the back of his hand. And we're comfortable at the weight. I've still got to lose a fair bit to get down to this weight. Probably walking around heavier than JR at the minute. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really not concerned in the slightest. You know, I'm a heavy hitter and I'm an explosive fighter.
What did your dad say? Like, as soon as this even became a reality and you spoke to your dad and said, look, hey, they want to do Eubank versus Ben free, really, isn't it? Well, what did your dad say?
There was many different stages. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He was one who sowed the seed. Every later part of Eubank's career, when I've obviously come on, because we were so far apart career-wise. You got to remember, when I was 19, not even turned pro, he fought Spike O'Sullivan or something like that.
O2 Arena, AJ undercard, I remember it.
Yeah, so I don't even think I was fighting then. Or it was early days, 1-2 fights. So there was such a gap. But as I've started to progress and started banging out these former world champions and beating them more convincingly than the next pay-per-view stars everyone's tipping Virgil or Jaron to be, I'm beating them just as convincingly. You know, even better. You know, because they don't get back up when I hit them. So based on that, we was like, Con, I think this fight can happen like now, you know. I've gone, do you know what, Dad? I was just about to message you the same thing. and then the last fight, I thought, do you know what? This fight needs to happen now. This fight can happen now because I don't want anyone saying when I do beat Eubank, he was past it. Yeah. I don't want anyone saying what. So he say his next 5 fights, however they go, it's the big fight is now.
Yeah, he's fresh now. I mean,
he's fresh now.
There's no damage.
It makes sense now. You know, I don't want anyone, because, you know, you get stick about, oh, yeah, but you're fighting him at a late... No, I'll fight him now. You know, I feel like I'm not even in my prime. I feel like I'm coming into my prime. You know, so, yeah, I'm not concerned about the weight in the slightest.
What have you made of his career? Look, some people say at the biggest stages of, you know, the biggest fights, Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, not bad losses, by the way, because those 2 fighters are very, very good. But when it comes to the big fights, he's maybe fallen short. What have you made of his career so far?
It's an interesting one because I think he would have done a lot more when he first started out. Yeah. In terms of achievement.
Everyone did, didn't they? Yeah. I think his dad said something like the next Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but yeah. His dad's his dad. Yeah. I mean, this sums it up. He fought Renaud Quinlan for the IBO world title, who was like 13-2 losses. I could have fought Algieri for the IBO, and then could have defended it twice against the people I fought. I've chose to keep my rankings in the other governing bodies, so I can fight for one of them top 5 now every governing body. Give me any of them top names. We've tried to make the Furman fight, the Ramirez fight, the Barrios fight. We tried to make them fights. You know, the offers are public for everyone to see. So Eubanks was one of the names that got brought up. And that's why we're here, and you know that made progress really quickly. But in terms of underachievement, in my opinion, I mean, I thought he would have done a lot more by now. Yeah. Been more active.
A lot of people say that about him.
But he's a great fighter. He's
in a very, very good division, both divisions.
Yeah. So why did the Golovkin fight never happen? Yeah. Why? I don't know. I think you might know.
Not sure. I'm
not sure either.
Some people say a pen was lost. I don't know.
Well, he's found it now, isn't he? Yeah. So, I'm just excited for this fight because this ain't been done in history. Me and Junior make history October the 8th. And, you know, I really feel like I'm taking care of the family business. I've already prepped my dad in letting him know, listen, Dad, I know you're 2-time world champion in the Guinness Book of Records, inducted in the Hall of Fame, but I'm going to have to take care of your business.
And you are. You're going to, right? some people think it's personal. Is it personal for you because
of the family names?
Yeah.
The last fight was a draw. They tried to make the fight happen. So for me, getting this victory is I really feel like it set the score straight. I really feel like I can get the victory my dad should have had the last fight. I could get the victory my dad was supposed to have in the third fight. So I feel like there is legacy on the line. It's the greatest British writer. Everyone knows the names. Me getting this victory is, yeah.
Is there like almost an underlying respect between you two? Just because the fact is you both had the pressures of having the biggest names in British boxing. Yeah.
I would say publicly there is respect.
Yeah.
I respect Chris. Because the come up ain't easy. And getting as far as we've got, being legend sons, is
the pressure.
The pressure, yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy. People go, yeah, but you've had this. Yeah, but you couldn't handle what we handle. You know, there's two sides to every coin. You know, sometimes I go, well, I wish that I didn't have the pressure and I could just fight. Because there was a stage where I hated fighting. I love fighting, don't get me wrong. I hated the pressure. I thought, you know, why do I fight? I could be chilling, you know, living off my dad, as everyone says, silver spoon. I could be doing that. You know, so
silk sheets.
Yeah, silk sheets, silk pajamas, heated Range Rover seats, and all that. Yeah, so I could be doing that, but yeah, I'm choosing to do the hardest sport in the world, and you lot. So I get that, and you develop a chip on your shoulder, which is what over the years you develop. You have to develop.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be this fun, puppy, giggly, funny kid that you are when you first turn pro, because the public do that to you. You know, so I do get it, and he's obviously gone about it the way he has. Two polar opposites. He's gone about it the way he conducts himself and the way he carries himself. You know, I've gone the way I've gone about it. But, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree, does it?
Some people have compared it, I think wrongly, but it'd be good to get your opinion, compared it to Kelbrook GGG. When Kelbrook's career is going one way, IBF champion, unbeaten, right? Big prospect. And he's taken a fight up against a bigger, some might say stronger guy. I know you probably won't agree with that. And after, we all saw what happened with Kel, the eyes, exactly, and his career was never the same after. Do you understand that comparison?
Of course I do, and that's completely fine. People are entitled to think what they want. But as far as I'm concerned, Chris ain't no Golovkin.
Yeah.
And then people say, yeah, I ain't no Brook. You're right, I ain't no Brook. I'm Conor Benn. So, and that's that. I'm in the gym, I live in the gym. Even when I'm out of camp, I'm in shape. Even when I'm out of shape, I'm in shape. Do you know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, you know, I do what I got to do. Me and my team wouldn't take, you think me and my team, most experienced team in world of boxing, would take this fight if we didn't believe we could win? You generally answer that.
No, look, I mean, Tony Sims is behind us here. I mean, again, you are talking about one of the most experienced trainers.
Yeah, but you're talking in Eddie, you're talking in Barry, you're talking in my whole team. You know, there's a team of 10, 15 of us. So, you know,
Wouldn't his team, for sake of argument, wouldn't his team think the same? Wouldn't his team as well think, 1 second?
I personally think, I know he's talking. I know he's talking like it's a tough fight. I'm not sure if he really thinks this is going to be a tough fight. I'm not sure if he does, but what he's got to remember is he's fighting a young, hungry fighter who's not willing to lose, who hasn't yet tasted defeat, who gets up at 2 and 3 in the morning and train. I ain't had my dad holding my hand my whole career. I've been on my own doing this for a long time. So, you know, pressure makes diamonds. He's saying, you know, how will I cope with the pressure being on the big stage? I've fought on plenty of big stages. I've dealt with a lot of pressure, and you're not about to handle it myself. And I still handle it myself. So as far as pressure goes, I couldn't care less. A fight's a fight. When I get in there, a fight is a fight, irrelevant of who it is and what they bring.
When did your dad join you? When's he coming over from Australia?
He's been driving me mad.
I can imagine.
He's been driving me mad.
Imagine.
I mean, I'm getting the
This
calls.
is a fight for him as well.
It feels like it. He lives his career through me.
Yeah. And
I really feel it, because it's just mad, because you guys all see him as Nigel Benn.
Yeah, the Dart Destroyer.
The Dart Destroyer, you know, savage and all that. He's I mean, don't get me wrong, he's crackers. He's crackers, but it's a whole different dynamic when we're in the gym together. It's a whole different dynamic when we're walking over to the arena together and I see him nervous. I remember I looked him once in the eye at the O2 and I've never seen a look like it before, and it's just like, man, you know, when you feel like you can see such a proudful.
I remember watching him ringside. I was actually watching him. I should have been watching you against Algeria. and I'm just watching him for about 5 minutes, just looking at him,
and
his reaction, like you see.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's genuine, and that for me is probably one of the biggest highlights of my career. That reaction there for me was like, you know, when you don't know if it's everyone else, you don't know how genuine it is. You don't know. When I see that there, it was like that's just sheer, you know, pride and love. So that for me was just, it was one of my career highlights.
Surely it's in the contract. If it has to be in the contract that both fathers walk you to the ring. Like, I need to see.
My dad would be there anyway.
100%.
My dad would walk me in anyway, regardless. You know, he's allowed me and my trainer and my team to just focus on my career throughout my whole career. Yeah. He trusted Tony, and left me to it. He knows I put the work in. He knows I graft. He knows my team so well. He is my team, but he knows everyone around that's so beneficial for my career, and this is why we've got to where we have to now. But my dad will be here for every step of the camp, every step of the way.
Do you think you can knock Chris Eubank Jr. out?
I do.
Bear in mind, obviously, he has this reputation of not being able to be hurt, right? His dad's DNA.
He has a granite chin.
Granite chin.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like I'm not saying he don't. He has a granite chin for sure. People keep doing a comparison with Groves, and Billy Joe, etc. It's the shot you don't see.
Okay.
It's the shot you remember. You got to remember. You don't see me in sparring. You don't see who I'm putting over in an 18-ounce gloves. You know. So
I heard the rumours.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I feel strong. You know, we fly sparring in, so it's not just something me and my team go, oh yeah, we have no chance of winning this fight. All my knockouts, I believe, have come within 4 rounds. Yeah. So
it's interesting because he's considered a slow starter, you're considered a fast starter. Yeah. There's going to be a time when it just aligns.
Yeah. That will happen, and you know, it will be a shootout. I think this will be a shootout. Yeah.
I think everyone's expecting it to be.
But that excites me. You know, I'm gonna come out and treat him like every other one of my opponents. I'm gonna go in there, and if I see an opening, I'm gonna take it. I believe my explosiveness, my accumulation of punches. I believe my angles. I believe my speed, my ferocity, the intentions in with which I punch, which ain't very nice.
Let's quickly touch on the weight again. It's heavier than you used to. I actually thought when you came through that you were a small welter. Obviously, you've grown now into that welterweight division. I think that's the correct way to do it.
Well, you don't see me out of camp. Yeah. You see me.
Well, actually, no, I do. I stalk your YouTube channel.
Oh,
I stalk.
CBTV.
I'm your number 1 subscriber. So
love that. Okay, yeah. So I can get heavy. Yeah. You know, I'm heavy now. Now I've got to lose a bit to get down to the weight we're fighting at.
What about him? I mean, I think the lowest Eubank's ever fought at is 158.5 pounds or something. That was years ago.
He suggested
He's
it.
Very lean.
He suggested it. I don't want to hear, oh, but you know, I've never made this weight since 2014 or whatever it is. Yeah. That you suggested the weight. We just agreed. We just wanted to make sure you make the weight. That was what there's heavy fines. Heavy fines that I wouldn't want to be taking. But he suggested the weight. The hold up for the whole few weeks was us then putting heavy fines in place for if you don't make the weight. Yeah. So obviously he had no intentions of making the weight. But, you know, I believe he's a man of his word. Forget the fines, forget everything. If you're a man of your word, make the weight.
There've been some big fights this year so far, right? I mean, Dillian White, Tyson Fury sold out Wembley just like that. This was announced for the O2 Arena. As soon as it was announced, I was like, well, this could do the London Stadium. Yeah. I thought, honestly, I don't know if it's a boohoo on someone else's part, but I think this could have done a stadium.
It was the football dates. Yeah. It was the weather. There was numerous reasons as to why we couldn't have it in a stadium. A stadium was what we wanted. Wanted it at Olympic Stadium.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. But it just didn't align. Which is fine. You know, it's a cracking fight. We can do it twice.
Do you feel like, and final question, do you feel like you've arrived now? Like, obviously, look, I've always said that you're the next big superstar on British boxing, not just because of your ability, everything, the way in which you do social media, everything. But this is it now, isn't it? This is probably the second or third biggest fight to be made this year in Britain. Well, you're headlining.
Well, we make history with this fight. Yeah. So it's never been done before. This is a fantasy fight. This is a very rare. Well, even now you look at the Suns. They may have sons that fight, but does their biggest rivalry sons fight? And are they any good?
Are they fight at the perfect time?
Yeah. Are they world level?
Yeah.
No. There's so many factors that have made this fight as big as it is, you know. And plus, I have a tear up anyway, you know. Plus, he's a ferocious fighter.
Yes, he is.
We are both entertainers, so this fight is just. Yeah, I'd probably say it's one of the biggest fights this year. Most definitely one of the biggest fights at a decade, for sure. So. Yeah, I'll never see myself as a superstar, by the way. Oh, well. You know, I don't, mate. I mean, I know. You know, but
I've seen the new whip.
He has arrived.
The double R. Conor, good luck. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. October the 8th, live on DAZN pay-per-view. You don't want to miss this one. I was going to say tickets are on sale, but they've already sold out probably. By the time this comes out, good luck.
Thank you.
Absolute cracker.